My name is Eincrow, and I'll be your guide as we venture into the world of Dear Esther in stereoscopic 3D. Now put on your 3D glasses and prepare to leave this flat world behind. You have now entered the S3D Gamer Zone. Adventure games are one of the least popular subgenres of gaming. There just aren't many people who enjoy illogical logic puzzles and using their mouse to caress every pixel of their monitor. These games tend to be extremely slow-paced, with sparse actual gameplay. Well, Dear Esther thought it'd be a great idea to just get rid of the gameplay altogether and hyper-energize the exploration and narrative aspects of adventure gaming. The game was a free mod for Half-Life 2 when it was first released in 2008, and the developer completely remade it for sale on Steam. The source engine powers Dear Esther, and though this can impress with its graphical fidelity, the art design is what sucks you in. The large environments and heavy foliage made me feel like this was a real place, especially when the random gusts of wind sent leaves rushing through my display. The music is composed by Jessica Curry. She created a soundtrack that is smooth, haunting, beautiful, and deeply immersive. It's the perfect backdrop for exploring this eerie island. The journey is punctuated by a narrator who reads fragments of letters addressed to some strange woman named Esther.
Close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted.
This unknown man's insane ramblings are your best and only explanation for what this island is and why you're there. Many times, evidence towards the truth of what he speaks can be found lying nearby, long abandoned. Neither direction nor instruction are given to you. Confusion will be the first emotion to greet you as you enter this world, but a blinking red antenna tower far into the distance beckons irresistibly. Experiencing Dear Esther displayed in stereoscopic 3D was both a privilege and an honor for me. I was floored by how much adding depth could enhance my experience. Since there's no gameplay in the traditional sense, your enjoyment of this game is based pretty much entirely on how much you can lose yourself in this virtual reality. Well, isn't that the whole point of viewing entertainment in S3D? To help your brain be more convinced that what it's seen is real? S3D and Dear Esther are a match made in heaven. Games developed using the source engine have had mixed results as far as stereoscopic performance goes. Dark Messiah of Might and Magic using NVIDIA's 3D Vision drivers was a disaster, but NVIDIA erroneously rated the experience as excellent anyways. While Dear Esther has no NVIDIA profile, but my experience using these drivers was still pretty dang good. The rendering anomalies range from no biggie to it's annoying as hell. Objects rendering at the wrong depth, such as clouds and a buoy out to sea, aren't too displeasing. Bad reflections and water transparency are issues we're familiar with, and we know just not to look at them. The most serious problem is also the weirdest. Full screen effects like being underwater or having water in your eyes, usually they don't work. I say usually because sometimes they did render fine. I won't show you footage of it not working because it'd make your eyes bleed, but in the instances where it did work, all running water in the cave was totally messed up. I had to restart my game a few times and reload the cave chapter, hoping that my screen would be painfully distorted again as I woke from unconsciousness.
I understand now that it is between the two of us and whatever correspondence could be drawn from the wet rocks.
I had to just straight up turn off 3D for a surreal scene of an underwater highway the first time I went through the game. It was a pretty cool scene, so I played the full screen effect rendering glitch crapshoot for a while until I could show you this footage. It's tough to score Dear Esther as a game. It's hard to justify calling it a game. It's more of a passive form of entertainment, like listening to music or watching a film. It only lasts about as long as a feature film, so bear that in mind before you make your purchase. Regardless, it is my duty as a reviewer to provide you with my highly objective, unquestionably true scores that are accurate to 3 decimal places. So then, let's start up the 3DGZ Awards ceremony. I was sucked into the world of Dear Esther in a way I've rarely experienced. There were times I wished things were enhanced or different, such as the very unrealistically bright ambient lighting down in the caves, or the creepy stares of the vegetation sprites as they turn and continuously follow you, looking at you. All in all, the experience was very pleasing, and Dear Esther receives a well-deserved 7 for its gameplay. If the developers of Dear Esther have never seen their game in S3D, they absolutely need to. The value added to their game by S3D is proof of S3D Gamerzone's belief that depth perception is indispensable if game designers wish to create immersive experiences. Even if it's not perfect, which Dear Esther certainly is not, enjoyment is still elevated by leaps and bounds when the anomalies aren't too obtrusive. Dear Esther receives a rating of 8 for its stereoscopic performance. Dear Esther seems to be selling quite well, and I hope the developers make a sequel or at least another game in the same style of atmospheric explorations. Just please consider designing your next game with S3D at least a little bit in mind. Even if not too many people are playing in 3D right now, your game will be future-proof for when 3D display technology becomes the universal standard.